thank the organizer for inviting me to this conference of the August gathering of the researchers from library science and information technology. First of all, let me just apologize that probably we will not learn.
Jani Alamji.
Sorry.
Jani Alamji.
Yeah.
You can come closer to the mic.
Okay. Yeah, I am close. Should I increase the volume? Let me see. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So I thank the organizer for inviting me to this meeting, important meeting on library science and technology. And I also apologize that from my lecture you will not learn anything new, because I am a theoretical physicist working in the physics theory. But this is also an opportunity for me to present before you, or you might be already knowing that what is the role that basic research has played in the information technology, in the internet, and that how that has changed the landscape of the concept of libraries and all. So let me just start with the quotations from some of the greatest mind of the last century, by Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore. Human emancipation is contained within the four walls of the library. Albert Einstein says that the only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. And of course, Michael Orman says, honor the past and create the future. Now, in this particular age, we may wonder what Tagore or Einstein would have written, whether they would have written the four walls of the library, or they have also written the location of the library, because location of the library today is to a large extent in your mobile phone, in your pocket. So that has changed the concept of the library, but its importance has only increased, right? And then one may also ask what will happen without the library then, right? We'll be, of course, back to the dark age. And in that sense, the ignorance will then rule our society. The information and knowledge will be within only a section of the people, right? Section of the people. And then what library has played a major role, it has democratized the learning process in the society. So that's the importance of the library, I personally think. And then let me just tell you, you all know this, that the beginning of the library probably marks the transition from the prehistory to the history age. Because once people started recording information, that probably is the start of the library. And initially, probably there was no difference between the library and the archive. Though we know that library today provides study materials to advanced scholarship, and archive stores public records, historical materials, etc. So, initially probably library and archive was, to my mind, was probably synonymous. But now they are playing very different roles. This Mesopotamian began with the recording of the information and knowledge on the surface of the stones and clay materials, and they are sharing this information to building up the knowledges, right? And then those informations were helping the society, various section of people, to in their own professions also. And with the advent of the paper in China, the big libraries started in the world. And one of those greatest libraries, you all know, that Library of Alexandria and the Chinese Imperial Library. And the role of the library as a source of knowledge and information remained completely unaltered since its creation, but the process of disseminations of information has undergone a huge change. And the digital version of the library, now, materials are taking over probably the printed version, but I personally think that has not reduced the role of the library and the librarians or the library science at all. Probably their role has increased more. Now, in the traditional library, you used to see that manual form of the catalog. Suppose you want to search something, right? And it was very difficult. When I joined here and the Psychodon Center, it was very difficult. I have to go to the library and search manually everything. We will not know which book is issued and which book is not issued. It was very difficult for searching things, and also copying and reading are also very difficult if I compare with today's situations. Now, all these traditional libraries was, guided by these five important rules, guidelines, I would say, or rules given by Professor S.R. Ranganathan, and who all know much better than me. Just I am quoting for the sake of completeness. The books are for the use. Now, of course, that is always true. Every reader should have his or her book, and every book should get its own reader. And the library service had the motto, or still today it is, that they save the time of the reader. That was the motto, still it is continuing. And a library is a growing organization, and that growth of the library was creating space problem in the conventional sense. We are at VECC right now facing the space problem as with the printed volume. So this has the discovery of the internet and the digitizations has played a huge role in this growing to counter the growing nature of the information and the materials. Here they have played this digitization and internet has played a very important role. So let us see how the birth of that internet took place. Here, basic physics played a very important role. You all know the basic researchers, they want to see what is at the edge of the universe. So for that, they need a huge telescope. And once they need a huge telescope, they also need huge help from the technology, from the engineers that develops the technology and engineering materials at the frontiers. They want to know what is there deep inside the atom, core of the atom. For that, they want to probe the smallest distance possible. And if you want to probe a very small distance, then you need to have very high energy. And if you want to have high energy, you need to make big accelerators, right? And those, when you want to make big accelerators, you need to have new technology. And by making the big accelerators, you need big detectors, and you need big volume of data to analyze and understand the rare physical phenomena, right? So you need huge amount of data. And when you need huge amount of data, you are unable to analyze that huge volume of data in a single computer. So therefrom, the need from the basic research came into place, and then you require to distribute this large volume of data all over the world to various universities, to various laboratories all over the world to address these fundamental issues of physics. And at that point of time, Sir Timothy Berners-Lee invented World Wide Web in 1989 at CERN, Geneva, Switzerland. That was the birth of the internet. He invented that. Just from the requirement that he has to distribute the data all over the world, right? And that gave the birth of the internet. And today, which is, we know that what the role internet is playing in all spheres of our life, like in all frontiers of our life, and including, of course, library and library science is not an exception. Now, from there, the concept of the digital library came into the being, and the online collections, books, journals, materials, video, all now are possible to get in a digitized form, just sitting at your desktop or sometimes your mobile in your pocket. And this word of digital library was popularized by NASA and NSF in 1994. So this was the discovery of internet in 1989, and this is how the internet was just discovered, and then everything came into the way we are enjoying today. And then the concept of online database came into the being, and the librarian, this online database connects the librarian with the information and knowledge seekers in a very easy way today. At any point in the world, at any point of time, in 24/7, it can connect. And this, as a basic researcher of the physics, I must emphasize that this is one of the things which has originated from the basic requirement of understanding physics at the very fundamental level. But that physics may have nothing to do with our daily life, but the spin of that of that requirement has changed our life forever, right? And then we all know that how much we are enjoying with the discovery of this internet. Conventional library, we all know that searching and other things are so easy now. I'll come back to this. So library has been redefined after that. And what is the role of the library when it was no longer needs to be a warehouse of books? I mean, nowadays I see our research scholars in the campus. They have almost like a whole library in their mobile phone or at best in their laptop. So library, a user doesn't need to go to the library and get any information on any book. So the libraries have always have good at being aligned with what people want, and that is what we want. That has been facilitated by the discovery of the internet. We want information at any point of the time in the day, 24/7, any point, geometric location, and you get it if you have just internet connections. And then these 5 laws which I have just talked about, you all know much better than me, has changed also. Now we say that knowledge is used in all forms. Every citizen has the right to access all forms of knowledge. Every knowledge is for access by all without discrimination of any kind. Save the time of all knowledge seekers, right? And a knowledge system is one that evolves with time to achieve all these laws, right? And this is just, I will show you one digital library which was earlier maintained by Los Alamos. Now it has gone to Cornell. There are a lot of people are receiving a lot of files, email files, LaTeX files through emails, and that they are somehow, if you receive many emails, then your inbox will be filled up. Now, Paul Ginsberg in 1991 started an archive, and this archive contains the papers of physics of every branch, starting from the nuclear physics, material science, cyanogen physics, mathematics, statistics, computer science, quantitative finance, economics, biology, electrical engineering, and system sciences, all papers. And these days, for any practicing scientist all over the world, the first thing they do in the morning, like those who are working in physics, will come and first check the archive. And immediately he or she will know what has happened today, what is the frontiers of the physics in in its various domain, and mathematics, statistics, etc. And as per the Wikipedia, I have got this information that in April this data is taken. Per month, over 16,000 articles are submitted to this, more than 500 per day. And ultimately, they just before these are published in the journals, we come to know what is happening at the various frontiers, right? And we also, from India, everybody submits their research in this particular archive. People start getting comments and can improve this thing. This is not peer review, but they have some kind of regulations. Anything they will not accept, but this is not peer review. But once it is these are published, these preprints are published, that information will also be going to this archive. So you know what is happening all over the world just from your mobile or the desktop every day, right from your office. And this has really changed everything. And there are probably there will be many papers which are published in certain journals. And suppose I don't have the access to that journals, right? Then I cannot get the published version, but the preprint version I will always get from here. And this is now maintained by the Cornell University, and this is playing a important role in research and information. Another site which is called Inspire Health. Now this is particularly you will, like in the archive you get the papers from all branches of physics and mathematics, statistics, as I have mentioned. But in this particular website, you will get only higher physics and nuclear physics, and you get, all kinds of information where it is published, and you can, of course, get the papers of, let us say, which is published much long ago. Like I can search for the paper of Albert Einstein here. Just I give here a comment: find author Einstein, comma, A for Albert. I get what is the papers he has written. I mean, I may have not have the access to these papers, but I will immediately know what is the paper he has written. And this is for anybody. You can put my name and you can see also what I have been doing. And but this is only thing is that this is only content information from high energy physics, nuclear physics, astrophysics, and cosmology to some extent. Like condensed matter physics and solid state physics, material science information will not be available. But one interesting thing is that you can get the full list of all those great scientists here, what they have published, and you can get that. So this is another big help. And then the modern libraries, you all know that it has web pack, personalized pack, and on this model library, I need not mention in detail that searching of books, journals is very easy. Status of books, journals, members, etc. You can get all this information very easily. Data searching on internet, any number of databases, any number of users, at any number of time you can get. Keywords, now searching a book is much more, or any material is much more easier. Because earlier you used in the conventional library, you used to search through the call number or the accession number or the author names. You can give one of the any keywords or combination of the keywords and get the information about that just right from your office desk. And then of course the library, this discovery of the internet has of course introduced new kinds of libraries like digital library, virtual library, and hybrid library, which operates on both green library nowadays people are talking about, and of course the mobile library, which provides the facility at your doorstep. Now one may also add here that you have mobile phone library also. If you have enough memory in your phone, you can have huge number of articles and information in your mobile phone itself. And this information communication technology has played a huge role in this in the library science, and it was possible, as I have been repeatedly saying, that because of the discovery of the internet. And this IT, information technology, has transformed the libraries, the traditional library, into digital one, and printed documents now have gone to electronic documents. Card catalogs has gone to opaque, register system to barcode and RFID system. From the closed access, as I mentioned, from the 4 worlds of the library, it has gone to open access. Manuscripts in the digitized form, it has reduced the voluminous task in circular counter. RFID technology made the library operation contactless and even does not require the line of sight. Consortia-based services has been possible. Online public access catalog, audiovisual service, access to resources, e-journals, e-books, e-thesis, dissertation, everything is possible. And as we mentioned, initially about that archive, there is a section where you can put the PhD thesis also in that archive, so that all over the world they know what is in your thesis, and that gives more visibility. And students will be, in that sense, if you they put this thesis in the archive, because of their visibilities and all that, sometimes it becomes easier for them to get jobs or postdoctoral offer. And of course, this has also made possible to have our own institutional repositories. And integrated library management facilities has been very efficiently connecting this staff of the library to the users through various processes, starting from the acquisitions of the materials in the library to the issue and return and everything. So in a smart libraries, there are 2 things what one needs probably. One is the integrated library management system software, and other is an automatic identification system. The ILMS, the integrated library management software, it concerns the database for sorting and retrieving library holdings data, web interface for library personnel, for customizing the software as well as the management of library holdings data, users data, OPEC for the library users, and complete automation identification system of the library consists of tagging stations, self-check in and check out stations, security guard, and of course the annual stock verifications also can be done through this RFID system, which is also very useful. This is typical one of the in our institute, the self-check in or self-check out kiosk. And of course, cloud computing is playing and will play a very huge role in this library science and information technology. This can be defined as simply the sharing and use of applications and resources of a network environment to get work done without concern about the ownerships and management of the network's resources and applications, as said by VECC in 2019. And this is one of the thing which cloud computing can showing that how cloud computing can do all these jobs very efficiently. I'm not going into the detail. And of course, today's smart library should have this service, that SMS alert service should be there. So alerts on availability of new books. Suppose a new book has arrived or journal has arrived, that information should go there. And then the browsing of the database, libraries can provide access to its various resources and databases, virtual tour of the library through this mobile, e-learning and distance learning, e-sources with mobile interface, personalized service, all these things can be done through this. And the newest librarian should have all these functionings which I have just mentioned here. I'm not going into the detail because you all are expert in this particular topic. Just I very briefly mention how the VECC library, ours is a very small library, ours is a small institute compared to IGCAR or BRC. But in the small library, what we have been doing for so far, just I'll briefly mention to you. In 1974, our library was established, and 2006 barcode-based circulation we have done, and 1999 library was computerized with VECC 4 software, and then barcode introduced in 2006, and 2007 institutional repository database was formed in 2007. 2008 we have started our new library web page. 2009 was VECC 4 upgraded to LS Premier software, and 2010 we had RFID based circulation system working from that time, and security gates has also already been installed by that time through this. We are doing the security checking through this RFID security gate, and now we are working on Koha configuration and customization of Koha in production server, and data migration and checking of for data consistency, development of middleware software to integrated Koha, and with RFID hardware, software is developed in-house and is successfully running now in our center. And actually, this middleware software which was developed at VECC was also deployed to the IMSC Chennai. And as I said, ours is a small library. Our collection is not much, so this is just the count. The total count is about 20,000. And we have these electronic resources: AIP Digital Archive, annual reviews, e-journals, e-books. We are a member of the Healthcare Science Tech of DAE Consortium. We have IEEE IET Electronic Library. We had actually a couple of years ago. There was a consortium.
Jani Alamji,
yeah,
you have only few more minutes.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And all these facilities, these are the electronic resources which we are keeping in our library. And about library services, current awareness services, document delivery through email we do, interlibrary loan service we have. This every library will have definitely reference services, orientation programs, photocopying, scanning, all these services. And I also mentioned that during this pandemic time, we are given access as far as it was possible to all the users to their residential place. And we have also this institutional repository where we keep our all publications till 1974, since the inception of our center. And of course, we have this repository. We have grammar list software, and authenticate for plagiarism checking. And here is I am at the end. This is my personal wish list. I think our GAE libraries, we can form a common quota and union catalog so that like today, suppose I want to see what is there in my library, VCC library from desktop, I should be able to see, do the same thing from my desktop, what is there in all the DAE libraries, at least the R&D center if it is possible. This is my personal wish list. And content management for all the DAE libraries, I don't know whether it is possible. More consortia, like we have a consortium for with Elsevier DAE libraries. Whether it is possible to extend this to IEEE, KPS journals, etc. And of course, being a accelerator center, that is our main activities. Whether it is possible to build a knowledge center for accelerator community. And this is just my personal wish list, and I think immediately some of this can be, if we all agree, can be done. And this is the reference which I have used because I am, as I have said, I am not a, I have just I am a library user. I don't have any knowledge of library science or anything. So this is just some of my personal recollections. I will end my presentations by thanking you all, and I acknowledge very gratefully to our library staffs who has helped me, guided me to prepare this talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jani Alam, for giving a wonderful presentation. There are one or two questions, and before that, I would like to say that your talk was wonderful, and you have conveyed as to how the library and its staff should transform themselves to the more digital era, and then you have also given the roadmap for how it has to be done. So now I ask Mr. Soundarajan to pose the question.
Thank you, Dr. Alam, for your inspiring speech. I think you've been a role model in implementing technology. In fact, I think you are the one of the first DA library to go for Koha. In fact, we also do have it now with us. And I'm really thoroughly inspired by your wish list. This is my wish list too, like interconnecting DAE libraries through a common union catalog and building a centralized institutional repository for entire DAE so that our collection can be shared among our own scientists and engineers. So, would you like to add more on this one, or what is you? Do you have any proposal with you right now on this one?
Sorry, I could get your last comment. There are some point. There are some noise, please. Can you repeat?
Sir, my question is like your wish list of building a centralized institutional repository among DA units and union catalog of all DA units is my wish list too. So, what do you have any proposal or project with you to carry it on further?
We have been discussing this internally, and maybe we should interact more with our colleagues from other DA library to push it further.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.